everybody, this is Jane. I am about to make some pasta fagioli, which is an Italian soup. It's a very hearty soup for fall weather, and it's one of these recipes that I've learned from my mom and dad. I have some cranberry beans, which I purchased at the farm stand, and I'm shelling right now. And I have a carrot and some onions, and I will be putting some celery in as well, and some tomatoes, fresh, or you can use canned tomatoes, and garlic as well. I have a lot to do today, but before I start working on my graphic design work, I prepare this soup so it'll cook while I'm working, which I love to multitask. I don't love to multitask, but oftentimes I find that, you know, it is the most efficient way to use my time. I'm hoping to have time later on to go swimming. We'll see. Had a hard workout last night at the gym with Joe. We did like a sort of a, it wasn't a boot camp, but it was a high intensity class, and it was really challenging, but I'm glad I did it. And I just feel that lately, even though I'm exercising regularly, that I really need to crack down and stay on schedule with my fitness. And I can tell because when I go to the classes, I'm really winded. I hope you can either inspire me or that I inspire you. I was thinking of getting all my veggies ready in the Cuisinart, but I just enjoy chopping vegetables. It's very therapeutic for me. So, and I like that the size of the vegetables that I chop are not uniform. And if I put it in the Cuisinart, they all, you know, it has like a certain kind of texture rather than diced, which I think is more appetizing as far as like texture is concerned. I want to get the vegetables to be the same size as the beans. It just is nice when all the pieces are, you know, the same size, and so that one thing doesn't overpower the other. So I'm going to chop these up manually, although I shouldn't because I don't have time, but it actually doesn't take that long. What I'm doing now is just dicing the carrots, and this is a pretty big carrot. So I dice up the carrots. First I slice them into long pieces. Actually, these, you know, I cut up the big carrot into thirds, and then I cut the thirds into like strips. I cut this big fat piece in half, and then cut it into strips. And then I cut, if those pieces are too wide, I'll cut them in half, so that it all ends up being the same size, approximately the same size as the bean that you're using. Now, I'm using these cranberry beans, or I think they're called Roman beans, but they're also called cranberry beans. I'll show them to you. They are this bean, and they come in a pod, and they're seasonal. So now I just take a whole bunch of these and just dice them. And this is a great soup to serve on in cool weather. Actually, it's used in the summertime as well, but what's nice is it's high in protein with the beans, and it's actually almost a complete meal if you cook it with some sort of carb. You can either add rice or little pasta, little size elbow pasta, or you can add rice or orzo or quinoa if you wanted to. So there's my carrot. Now I'm going to put it in a bowl, and now I'm going to chop up my onions. And I'm using a red onion. You can use any kind of onion, and I have these today, so it'll be fine. I actually like red onions better, but you can use any kind of onion. And as far as the bean is concerned, you can use another kind of bean. You don't need to use these cranberry beans. You can use pinto beans, cannelli beans. And you can also use, I'm using fresh beans, but you can use dried beans as well. If you soak them overnight, you have to pre-cook the beans. And then, you know, according to whatever time they need. And then follow these instructions and add the beans to everything else at some point. But so here's the onion. And you can also use potato to thicken the soup. I might do that. I might add just like one small tomato. I like to add a lot of onion to the soup. It adds sweetness and flavor. Ah! Okay, so I really did a number on my nail. I'm just trying to do so much today, and this is not this is not the right way to instruct somebody how to cook. That's for sure. And I went into my nail a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. It'll be okay. I'm going to pour a couple of tablespoons of oil, enough to coat the bottom of the pan and saute the veggies. Right now I'm going to cook up chop up some garlic. So as far as herbs are concerned in this dish, I probably will add some fresh basil, but you can add anything you like. And you can also season this with a little crushed red pepper. It always adds a nice little spice. So I've got most of my veggies ready. Oh, I forgot all about the celery. I usually cut off the tough part of the celery, and sometimes the beginning part of the celery needs a little trimming. And I dice these up. Jesus, sometimes you think you're so smart doing stuff like this, and then I cut my finger and I'm like pissed off at myself for not like slowing down and just taking my time. I hate when things like this happen. It's because I'm rushing, because I have a million things to do. So This knife is so sharp. I love this knife. It's a ceramic knife and it's so sharp. That's why I cut into my nail. I mean, I usually use my other metal knife, and I really love this knife because it's easier to cut vegetables, but it's also easier to really cut yourself badly. I recommend it with care. So this is pretty much, my veggies are all chopped. So the main consumption of time is the chopping of the vegetables, and you can avoid that by using a Cuisinart. These are my veggies. I've got cranberry beans, celery and onions and garlic, and carrots. Now I'm going to saute in this big pot. You can use any kind of soup pot. Heavy pot is the best, so that the heat maintains its temperature better. I wouldn't use a cast iron though. I have a cast iron enamel pot that's really good, or you can use a stainless steel pot. I'm going to add my veggies. Now, first I saute the onions, carrots, celery, and garlic until they're translucent or semi-cooked. I'm going to add a little more oil. As I saute the veggies, I'm going to chop up my tomatoes. And like I said, you can use fresh tomatoes, or you can use whole canned tomatoes. Any kind of tomatoes would do, but I think you need at least a cup or more if you like. I would say 2 cups is the best. I'm going to add the tomatoes. And now I'll add the red pepper. Just add a sprinkle because it's very strong and hot. Okay, so at this point I'm going to add the cranberry beans. The vegetables and the tomatoes are sauteed. I'll add the beans at this point. And now you can either add water or chicken stock or vegetable stock. I just add enough water to cover the vegetables and the beans a couple inches above that, so that when it simmers and gets concentrated, it won't be too thick. And at this point you can also add potatoes.